Logan didn't mean to cause trouble. He was just curious. The alien ship was quiet. Too quiet. Most of the alien crew had gone to a briefing. Logan had been told to wait in the visitor area, but boredom was a dangerous thing for a human engineer, especially one like Logan who liked to explore things that weren't his. The hallway lights blinked softly as he walked. He passed strange doors, humming with energy. Most had symbols he didn't understand, but one door was slightly open, and glowing blue light spilled from inside. That was enough to pull him inside. The air felt cooler. There were tall glass tubes lined up against the wall, most of them dark, but one in the center glowed bright, filled with mist. The floor had alien runes carved into it, pulsing slowly like a heartbeat. Logan stared, his heart thudding faster with every step. Then he saw it, a small control panel. Floating beside the glowing pod, it had one button flashing slowly red and gold. The words written beside it were in alien script. He had no idea what it said. "Don't touch it." He whispered to himself, but curiosity screamed louder. He looked around, no guards, no cameras, no one shouting at him. Maybe it was just a light switch, or a test system. Maybe pressing it would do nothing. He reached out, paused, then pressed the button. The room didn't explode. At first, nothing happened. He let out a laugh, nervous and embarrassed. Then the pod made a loud hiss. Steam burst out from the sides. The glow grew brighter. The air shook with energy. Logan backed away as alarms started screaming in the hallway outside. "Security breach in Chamber 9. A robotic voice said in both alien language and then English. "Unauthorized human access." "Oh no," Logan whispered. Raising his hands like that would fix it, but it was already too late. The pod opened with a slow groan. Inside, a figure began to move. A tall female form alien, but strangely beautiful. Her skin was pale silver, her eyes closed, her long hair floating like silk in water. The glass slid away, and she stepped forward barefoot and weak but alive. Logan couldn't breathe. She was at least 8 feet tall, elegant but powerful. She opened her eyes slowly, glowing a soft golden color. Then she whispered something that made his blood freeze. She said his name, Logan. He blinked. "Wait, what?" She reached out and placed her hand on his chest. "You woke me," she said slowly, her voice strange but perfect in English. "The protocol has begun." Before he could ask anything, the door slammed shut behind him. Security had arrived, trying to open it from the other side. A loud pounding echoed through the room. Logan turned around and tried to explain, shouting through the metal, "I didn't mean to. I thought it was just a button." But the alien guards outside didn't care. He heard one say, "Seal the chamber. Do not let them escape." Another voice, Calder said, "If the Queen has awakened, then we are already too late, Queen." Logan turned to the tall woman. She looked weak, but not afraid. In fact, she was smiling softly, like she had been waiting for this moment. "You pressed the initiation sigil," she said. "That means you are the chosen bond." "I'm sorry, the what?" Logan said. Backing up, I didn't mean to press it. I swear, you have triggered the ancient law," she said gently. "From this moment, I belong to you." The floor under them started to shake. Lights flickered, systems shut down, and Logan realized something terrifying. That single button had not just opened a pod. It had woken up something ancient, something powerful, and something the aliens had locked away for a reason. As the Queen's eyes glowed brighter and the security team failed to break through the locked door, Logan whispered the only thing that came to mind. "Oops, that wasn't supposed to happen." The Queen smiled wider. "But it did," she said. And somewhere deep inside the alien station, something else woke up too. Something that had been waiting for a human to press that button for a very, very long time. The lights inside the sealed chamber dimmed to a soft red, casting shadows across the queen's silver skin. Logan stood frozen, still trying to understand what just happened. The alien queen leaned slightly on the glass wall for support, her breathing slow but steady. Outside, voices shouted in alien language, but the door remained locked, sealed by the queen's awakening. He moved closer, still unsure if she was real. You. You said my name, he whispered. She nodded slowly. I have known your name for centuries. That made no sense. Not even to a guy who believed in time loops and quantum stuff. I think you've got the wrong human, Logan muttered, trying not to panic, but the queen took a step toward him, her bare feet silent on the cold floor. No mistake, she said. You pressed the sigil. That means the bond has begun. Bond, the word sent a chill through his spine. What kind of bond are we talking about here? He asked, trying to smile but failing. The queen didn't answer right away. Instead, she lifted her hand and touched a floating console near the pod. It responded to her instantly, even though the ship's other systems were failing. Holographic symbols danced in the air images of humans and aliens, long-gone civilizations. And one of them, clear as day, looked exactly like Logan. Same jawline, same messy hair, same scar on the cheek. That's not possible. Logan breathed, staring at the image. That's me. Or someone who looks exactly like me. He was your ancestor, the queen said. The last Builder Prince. Builder, the word was old, lost. Something spoken in hushed tones, even by alien historians. The Builders were myths, legends said. To be the first to walk the stars, no one ever found proof they truly existed until now. You're saying, I'm connected to them? Logan asked, feeling his legs get weak. The queen nodded. You carry their spark. And now that spark has activated the vault. He didn't know what the vault was. But the timing was awful. Outside, someone tried to cut the door open, blue sparks flying at the edges. The queen didn't flinch. They'll try to kill you, she said calmly. They always feared this day. Why? Logan asked. I'm nobody. Not anymore, the queen replied. Now you're the key. The console pulsed again, and part of the floor split open, revealing a narrow tunnel beneath. It looked dark and steep. But right now, it was better than waiting to get a restador. Worse. Come, she said, holding out her hand. He hesitated, but then took it. Her touch warm and surprisingly gentle. They climbed down together, vanishing just as the door burst open behind them. Alien guards rushed in, weapons ready, but the chamber was empty. Only the open pod remained, hissing softly like it was laughing. The tunnel was long, winding through strange machinery. Ancient tech lined the walls, glowing as they passed, responding only to the queen and Logan. It obeys you, she said softly, just like it obeyed him. I don't even know what I'm doing, Logan admitted, but your blood remembers, she replied. They reached a hidden chamber. Older than the rest of the station, dust floated in the air like forgotten memories. In the center stood a tall crystal pillar, pulsing like a heartbeat. The queen walked to it and placed her hand on it. And the whole room lit up. Suddenly, a voice filled the chamber. Soft but powerful. Recognition confirmed. ... Builder lineage detected. Secondary bond accepted. Logan looked around, confused. What does that mean? The queen smiled faintly. It means we are linked now, in mind and life. The protocol is complete. That's a lot, he said, rubbing his temples. He didn't feel different. But the way the machines listened to him now made it hard to deny. The room shifted again, a new passage opening behind the crystal. But the queen stepped back, her breath shaky. She stumbled slightly, and Logan caught her. You're still weak, he said, holding her steady. I've been asleep for too long. She whispered, My strength will return. But not yet. He looked at the dark tunnel ahead. Then back at the woman leaning against him. Somewhere deep in his gut, Logan knew this was just the beginning. 1,000 questions burned in his mind, but one thought stood above the rest. He hadn't just pressed a button, he'd changed everything. And whatever came next, there was no turning back now. The tunnel felt alive with every step Logan took. The walls lit up ahead of him. Soft golden lights chasing away the shadows. The alien queen leaned against him for support. Her breathing calm but slow. Behind them, the distant sound of boots echoed through the metal passages. They were being hunted. Logan didn't know where the tunnel led. He only knew they had to keep moving. The queen's hand tightened on his arm, her voice soft like wind through glass. This path leads to the inner gravity shaft. We can escape the station from there. Are you sure? He asked, glancing behind them. She gave a slow nod. This station was built around an ancient builder core. Your presence has reawakened it. It will protect you. He didn't understand most of her words, but one thing was clear: machines that had slept for thousands of years were now working because of him. And the aliens chasing them knew it. The tunnel opened into a massive, circular chamber. It was tall, so tall, he couldn't see the top. In the center was a vertical shaft lined with metal rings and spinning fields of energy. At the base was a glowing platform with faint symbols, some of which looked strangely familiar to him. "This is the gravity shaft," the queen said. Stepping forward, "It will launch us up into the upper layers of the station." Launch. Logan blinked, like, ... throw us. She gave a tired smile. "It's controlled now. It won't hurt you." Before he could argue, loud metal footsteps echoed from the tunnel behind them. A squad of alien soldiers stepped into view. Weapons drawn, faces cold. The queen stood tall, hair floating slightly in the air like smoke. One of the soldiers shouted something in their language Logan didn't understand, but the meaning was clear. "Surrender," she whispered. "Or die, Logan." Raised his hands. Hey, look, I know this looks bad, but I really didn't mean to wake her up, okay?" The aliens didn't answer. They opened fire. Blue beams of plasma shot across the chamber. Logan grabbed the queen and jumped behind the platform. Sparks flew as the shots hit the walls, burning deep holes into the metal. "I thought you said this thing would protect us," Logan shouted. "It will," she said, eyes glowing now. "You must activate it." He peeked around the side and saw the alien soldiers fanning out. Closing in, on the floor beside him, the platform flickered. Again, symbols rearranging. He reached out and touched one glowing rune. The world flipped. A low hum filled the air as the platform came to life. The chamber shook, and suddenly the gravity around them shifted. The queen grabbed his hand just in time, and then they were flying up, faster than any elevator. The air around them blurred, lights becoming streaks. Logan's stomach dropped into his legs, and his scream was swallowed by the speed, after what felt like a full minute. They slammed to a stop, gently, somehow, landing in a quiet, wide hallway. The platform under them hissed, deactivating. Logan fell to his knees, gasping. "I am never doing that again," he said. Still dizzy, the queen smiled, a bit stronger now. "But you did well." She looked around, scanning the corridor. "This level hasn't been used in centuries. We're safe." For now, Logan leaned back against the wall, eyes wide. "So let me get this straight. I pressed a button, woke you up, and now half the station wants me dead. Machines are calling me a prince, and I just got thrown through a space tunnel like a rag doll." "That is correct," she said calmly. "Great," Logan muttered. "Just great." From the end of the hallway, a soft green glow appeared. It wasn't coming from the ceiling, it was coming from the floor. From old lines that lit up as the queen stepped forward. "They still remember me," she said quietly. Almost to herself, Logan followed her, still trying to breathe normally. He didn't know what they were walking toward, but deep in his gut, something told him this was bigger than just an accident. The station wasn't just waking up, it was choosing sides, and for some reason, it had chosen him. The hallway was quiet. But it felt like something was listening. Logan walked slowly, his boots tapping softly against the metal floor. The alien queen moved beside him. Stronger now, her steps smooth and graceful. With every turn they took, more of the station lit up old lights. Forgotten screens, even broken panels started. Humming as if waking from a dream, Logan noticed the way the walls reacted to him. They pulsed when he passed. Doors slid open without him touching anything. And sometimes, strange whispering sounds echoed from the metal. Not voices, exactly. But something close. "Why is this place reacting to me?" he asked finally. The queen glanced at him. "Because your blood carries a signal." He stopped. "Signal." She touched a wall gently, her fingers glowing faintly. "Long ago, before my people ruled, there were others." She said, "The builders, they created ships, worlds, entire systems. They shaped the stars like clay, and you think humans are their descendants?" He asked, eyebrows raised. "I don't think," she said. I know. She led him into a new chamber round, with a high ceiling and strange glowing pillars rising like trees. In the center was a pool of silver liquid, still and quiet. She walked to it and placed her hand above the surface. The liquid shimmered, then showed an image of an old battle in space. Massive ships firing energy beams, alien empires falling. Logan watched silently. He saw a man, his face identical to Logan, standing on the bridge of a shining white ship. Behind him stood the queen, younger, dressed in war armor. She was standing beside the builder prince. "That's me?" Logan whispered. "No," she said softly. "That was him, the last prince of the builders, your ancestor. He was betrayed." Logan stared at the image. The prince shouting, systems failing, an explosion starting behind him. Then the image faded. The silver pool returning to calm. "They erased everything," she said. "My people feared the builders. Feared what would happen if one returned, so they made sure none ever would." Logan looked around at the old chamber. "Then why didn't they destroy this place?" "They couldn't," she answered. "The core is too deep. Protected by ancient systems, only someone with builder blood could access it again. And that, ... is you?" Suddenly, a loud beeping echoed through the hall. A red light blinked on the ceiling. "They found us," she said. "No," Logan said slowly, eyes fixed on a nearby screen that had flickered on. "They found the truth. Alive." Broadcast was streaming. It showed a recording of Logan saving her early-era shaky clip from a nearby drone. Then it showed him touching the pillar, activating systems, opening doors with no tools. Millions were watching it live across dozens of systems. "They're broadcasting me?" he asked, shocked. She nodded. "The galaxy is watching you now." Another alert appeared on the screen. Human subject identified. Builder lineage confirmed. Possible heir candidate. Logan backed away, heart racing. "Okay, this is insane," he muttered. "I'm an engineer. I'm not a prince. I eat instant noodles and live in a storage pod." The queen smiled gently. "Your blood doesn't care where you sleep." Behind them, a noise, doors opening, fast footsteps, weapons clinking. "We need to move," she said. Already heading to another tunnel, but this time Logan didn't follow right away. He stood still for a moment, watching the glowing walls, hearing the whispers, feeling the station react to him. Something deep inside him stirred, not memory, but instinct. Like this place wasn't new to him. Like he'd been here before in another life. He took a breath and ran after her. And as they vanished into the next corridor, Far away in the galactic capital, powerful leaders stared at the broadcast in silence. A human had awakened the Builder core, and the last time that happened, the galaxy burned. A deep silence held the hidden corridor, but outside, the galaxy was screaming. News feeds, war channels, and every gossip network were repeating the same name: Logan. Some called him the rebirth of the Builders. Others said he was a mistake, a danger, a virus from the past waking up to break the future. He didn't hear those voices yet. He was busy running. The Queen guided him through a twisting maze of ancient passages. Some were full of light, others completely dark. One room they passed had vines growing from the walls, biotech that pulsed when Logan stepped near. In another, floating orbs circled the ceiling, glowing gently when he looked at them. Everything here seemed to know him. Everything greeted him like a long-lost master. They finally stopped in a wide chamber with a cracked dome above. Through the broken ceiling, stars peeked in, and the silence of space felt close. Logan sat down, exhausted. "I can't keep running forever," he said, wiping sweat from his forehead. "I'm not trained for this. I fix broken machines, not fight secret alien wars." The Queen sat across from him, her long fingers brushing across her forehead. "Everything is happening faster than I hoped," she said, "but we must adapt. The galaxy doesn't wait for us to be ready." Logan leaned back, trying to think, but something was off. He heard a soft buzz, not from inside the station, but from the air itself. He stood slowly. "Do you hear that?" The Queen nodded, her face suddenly serious. She touched a nearby wall, and a section opened to reveal an old monitor. The screen showed outside the station a small fleet of ships approaching. "Not military, worse, bounty hunters. They want you alive," she said coldly, "but only long enough to tear secrets from your blood." Logan stared at the ships as they got closer. Dozens of small vessels marked with illegal sigils, mercenary tags, and pirate codes. Some carried alien weapons banned by treaties, thousands of years old. "I didn't sign up for this," Logan said under his breath. "Yet here you are," she replied, standing tall. She placed her palm on the ground, and the chamber around them shifted. A control panel rose from the floor, enchant, covered in dust, but glowing now that he was near. "What is this?" he asked, walking over a defense node. She said, "But it only activates with Builder command." He stared at the symbols. They weren't English, but somehow he understood them. His hand moved without thinking, touching runes that pulsed. Under his fingers, suddenly, the ceiling above opened wider. From hidden walls, turrets unfolded sleek, silent, deadly. Outside, the bounty hunters slowed, their ships scanning the activation. A warning message flashed on their screens. "Defense grid online Builder authority detected." And then, without a sound, the guns began to fire. Blue beams of ancient plasma cut through space. 3 ships exploded instantly. 2 more spun out of control. The rest turned and fled. Panic spreading through the pirate ranks. No one had ever faced active Builder weapons and lived to tell the story. Inside the chamber, Logan stood frozen, staring at the silent guns. "I did that," he whispered. The Queen looked at him with something new in her eyes: respect, and something deeper. "Your blood has accepted the station," she said softly. "It means more will follow." Logan turned to her, confused. "More? What?" She didn't answer right away. Instead, she walked to a corner of the chamber and pressed her palm against another wall. It slid open, revealing a long staircase, spiraling down into darkness. "The core is waking up," she said. "It's calling for its heir." Logan stared down the steps. He didn't feel ready, not even close. But if he didn't go, someone else might, someone worse. And the whole galaxy was already watching, waiting to see if the human would run or rise. The stairs felt endless. Each step echoed like thunder through the ancient halls below the station. Dust floated in the air, untouched for centuries. Logan followed the Queen closely, his heart pounding with every turn. He didn't know what waited at the bottom, but he felt it, a strange hum in his bones. Like something old was waking up just because he was getting closer. The walls were different here. No wires, no blinking lights, just smooth black stone. Glowing faintly with lines that pulsed to the rhythm of his heartbeat, they reached a final door tall. Silent and sealed without any handle, the Queen turned. To him, her face unreadable. "You must open it," she said, stepping aside. Logan stared at the door, unsure. "What if I mess it up again?" he asked, forcing a smile. She didn't laugh. "If you open this," she whispered, "you won't be able to go back." He raised his hand, placed it flat on the door. It didn't shake, didn't explode, didn't scream. It simply opened. Inside was a chamber unlike anything he'd ever seen. A soft blue light filled the space. At the center was a floating sphere made of shifting metal and energy. It pulsed slowly, like it was breathing. "The core," the Queen said, stepping. "Beside him, it holds the memory of the builders. All of them." He walked closer, drawn to it, but before he could touch it, a voice echoed through the chamber. "Step away from the air." Logan froze. The Queen turned, her eyes narrowing from the shadows. A tall alien figure walked forward, cloaked, armored, armed. Logan recognized him. It was Captain Lorak, the Queen's trusted ally, the one who had first welcomed him onto the station. "What are you doing here?" Logan asked, confused. Lorak's voice was cold, sharp, like a blade. "Stopping a mistake before it destroys everything." The Queen stepped between them. "You swore loyalty," she said, her tone dangerous. "I swore to protect our people." Lorak snapped. "And this human is not one of us." He raised his weapon. "I'm ending this now." But the Queen moved first. She struck the weapon from his hand and kicked him back across the room. He hit the wall hard, but didn't fall. "You'll start a war," she warned. "There's already one coming," Lorak growled, standing again. "You just invited it?" Logan watched in shock as the two aliens clashed. He could feel the energy in the room rising, like the core was reacting to the fight. The Queen dodged and countered, her movements precise but slowed by her still healing body. Lorak struck her across the shoulder, and she stumbled. "Stop!" Logan shouted, stepping forward. They didn't listen. He looked at the core. It pulsed faster now, lights flickering, energy rising. Without thinking, he reached toward it. The moment his fingers touched the surface, the room exploded with light. Everyone was thrown back. Silence followed. Logan stood at the center, glowing. The core floated behind him, no longer a machine but awake. Aware, Lorak stared in disbelief. "What have you done?" he whispered. The Queen rose slowly, her eyes wide. "You activated it," she said, voice shaking. "No one's ever done that alone." "I didn't do it alone," Logan said quietly. He looked at her, then at Lorak. "I did it because I had to." The core's voice echoed, now deep. "Powerful builder lineage confirmed. Control authority granted. Initiating galactic link." Screens lit up across the galaxy, from royal courts to warlord dens. Everyone saw Ida Human, standing in the center of the builder core, and behind him, the Queen, and beside them, the future. The core chamber was no longer silent. It pulsed with life, with ancient voices, with data flowing like rivers through light. Logan stood at the center, no crown, no armor, just a stunned human with dirt on his shirt and a spark in his blood. But across the galaxy, screens broadcast his face. The words spoken by the core echoed on every channel. "Air confirmed. Galactic link open." Control shift initiated in the outer rings of the station. Alarms screamed, ships scrambled, leaders argued. Systems crashed as the core stretched its reach. Old builder satellites blinked awake. Long dead A's turned their heads toward the new command. Some welcomed the signal, others prepared to silence it. Logan turned to the Queen. Still breathless, "What do I do now?" he asked. She stepped closer, her voice soft. "Now you lead, but I'm not a leader," he said. Shaking his head, "I'm just." "Me, you are more," she said, looking up at the glowing core. "And now?" "Everyone knows it." Suddenly, the chamber rumbled. A second fleet had arrived, massive, official, armed to the teeth. Not bounty hunters this time. The Unified Council. The rulers of half the galaxy, a voice crackled through the comms. "This is Council Ship Halvar. Deactivate the core and surrender the human immediately." Logan stepped forward, his voice picked up by the chamber's ancient transmitters. "I'm not a threat," he said. "I didn't ask for any of this. I just pressed a button." Silence followed. Then the council voice returned, cold and tight. "That button woke up weapons older than our civilization. You are in violation of galactic law." The Queen raised her chin. "There is no law above the core." The chamber shifted again, revealing a final console. The core spoke once. "More command authorization pending. Accept galactic command." Logan stared at the glowing control. He could say no. He could walk away, go back to being a small engineer with a small life. Or he could say yes and carry the weight of 1,000 extinct stars on his shoulders. He turned to the Queen. "Will you stand with me?" he asked. She placed her hand in his. "Always." He took a breath. Then placed his palm on the console. A burst of golden light filled the chamber. Outside, every ship near the station powered down. Weapons failed, engines froze, guidance systems stopped. The core had taken control, not to destroy, but to remind them the builders had returned. In human form, across the galaxy, wars paused. Leaders listened. People held their breath. Logan's voice spoke one last time, broadcast by ancient machines to every world. "I'm not here to rule," he said. "I'm here to rebuild, and if you want peace, help me build something better." Then the feed cut, and silence returned. But it was not the silence of fear. It was the silence of a new beginning.